Good morning, all the participants who are participating from Ontario. And good evening to everyone, whoever is participating from Jammu and Kashmir. I'm Bhavik Parikh, Director of Information Technology and Communication and Membership Engagement at the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce. The buyer-seller meet, which has been organized under the aegis of the Consulate General of India, Toronto. Our chamber has collaborated with the Jammu and Kashmir Trade Promotion Organization to organize today's program. Before we begin, let me just briefly run through the flow of the program. We will start by speeches from our President, Vijay Thomas, followed by special remarks by Apurva Srivastav, the Consul General of India in Toronto. Then inaugural remarks addressed by Anu Malhotra, MD, J&K Trade Promotion and Organization. Thereafter, the e-catalog will be launched. And then Mahmood Ahmad Shah, Director, Handicraft and Handloom Kashmir, will make a presentation on the unique handicrafts and handlooms of Jammu and Kashmir. I will then introduce the exporters from J&K and the importers from Ontario. After these formalities are over, the one-on-one meeting will commence. Now, the most important thing is that we are meeting. So the technical it just got muted. The technical information which I would like to share here. So we have created a separate room for all the exporters, and we will move each of the exporter to their respective rooms. And then we will move importers to the exporters room for the one-on-one meetings. Now, in addition to this launch, we have created rooms for our chamber, the JKTPO and the consulate. The Ontario business folks not immediately allocated a room are requested to wait in the lounge. The lounge is nothing but the main room, the reception area where we are right now. And we will eventually move them to their one-on-one meetings. The exporters from J&K may similarly wait in the JKTPO room momentarily before they are allocated a room. Please be patient with the arrangements. Now, please join me in welcoming Vijay Thomas, the President of Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce. Vijay is a serial entrepreneur, the CEO of Tangential Incorporated, an information technology company with operations in Canada, India, and the United States. He has been with our chamber for the last 5 years. Now, Vijay, please welcome.
Thank you, Bhavik, and thank you everybody for making time today. Good morning to everybody joining from Canada, and good evening to everybody joining from India, especially from Kashmir. I was going to say most calls that I have with people in India, I say, warm India, but I can't think I can make that same statement about Kashmir. So I'm not sure if it's as cold as Toronto, but I'm sure it is not warm in Kashmir still. So, we're kind of a little bit of the same in terms of at least the weather. So welcome everybody, and welcome to the Ontario J&K Buyer Sellers Meet, organized by the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce, the Indian Consulate in Toronto, and the JKTPO. This is, I think, a fantastic event because we are getting together, and most of the importers that you will talk to are also people with an India connection. So we've got people with an India connection on this side, people with obviously from India selling from J&K. I think there is more than the product. There is also an emotional connection here between both sides, and I think we will see that happen today between all sides. And I already see people greeting each other in Kashmiri, there is people on our side that are grown up in Kashmir, and that would be fantastic. I see this as really, really getting much better. So the Consulate General in Toronto, the Indian government has been working very hard to get J&K to be brought into the mainstream in terms of the economy, in terms of also getting the economy restarted. And I think in Ontario, in Canada, and especially the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce, this has been a focus area for us as well. So we definitely would like to see how we can assist here. And I think we've brought people that have the experience, and also more than that, with Bhavik and some of our team, we went out and we pushed this even in social media. We told people that if you're not even an importer, but if you are interested in starting a business and trying to bring some things from India and especially from Kashmir and wanting to sell in Canada, please come and join, meet with these entrepreneurs. And today there is a whole concept of social entrepreneurship, not big companies dealing with big companies. It is smaller companies dealing with smaller companies. And that's how I think there's the whole concept of social entrepreneurship. And I think you will see that there is a lot of people that on our side today, we have the larger importers, but we've also got people that are interested, that think that they can make a difference to either side. They can make a difference to their own lives, as well as make a difference to people who are maybe handicraft and people that are working on their own on the other side, not very large. So we brought in, we also take the opportunity to briefly introduce our chamber to the Kashmiri participants and JKTPO. We would like to see how we can work even further on other opportunities. So the ICCC is a 44-year-old bilateral trade organization based in Toronto that fosters trade and commerce between Canada and India. So we have more than 5,000 people on our mailing list, and we have more than I would say between 1,000 2,000 members, and we most of our members are Indo-Canadian business people as well as professionals. So that was the opportunity. I said there are some of these professionals that also want to become, possibly today with Amazon, with Etsy, with a lot of these e-commerce platforms, there is an opportunity for people to become entrepreneurs very easily. And I think for people from Kashmir, handicraft exporters, I think you should be looking at not just the larger importers, but also look at getting tying up with probably smaller people as well that are wanting to set up business. So I think there's a big opportunity there, especially among the Indo-Canadian community, which, by the way, is one of the fastest growing diaspora communities in the world. We're nearly 2 million people in Canada and almost 1 million people in just the Greater Toronto area. So it's a huge community that I think J&K exporters and handicraft people should be looking at. So we're also one of the largest membership-based organization. Our motto is grow, engage, and prosper. So we definitely mean business, and you will see that today, that the people that we have brought from the importer side, and then what we will also do is, once you've got a connection, the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce will help you not just make that connection first. We will also do how we can take off, we can remove, we can do the help you with getting started, setting up your contracts, and through the life cycle as you go along. That would be something we can help with as well. So a little bit more about Chamber. We got the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award in 2012, which is the highest civilian award given to an overseas organization. And we also, for the last 3 decades, we have a gala event where we provide awards to Indo-Canadians. This is like the Oscar Awards for Indo-Canadian entrepreneurs. And I can go on for hours about this, but I think, I want to just say thank you to everybody for making the time today. And I think it will be a great event. And if you have anything that you want to improve, or if you have any suggestions, please drop into the room, which is the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce room, and we will be available there to help you. So please come to us. Now, before I would like to make one more announcement before I make way for Consul General of India, Apurva Srivastava, to share our thoughts. We are going to have a virtual trade mission to India. It's called 10 States in 10 Days. And this is going to be in the last 2 weeks of April. And I am very happy to announce one of the states that we are going to go to is Jammu and Kashmir. So Anu Malhotra ji, and JKTPO, we would really need all your help. I've already got Shubhan Krishnan and Apurva Srivastava ji on board. We would like to do this where we will bring a delegation of almost 40 to 50 people, including Ontario government is on board. The Canadian government is on board. It's going to be a very high-powered delegation. We're going to bring in also, businesses, small, medium-sized, large businesses. And this is something that I think we are very excited about at the ICCC. And J&K, we really, really think it can make a difference. And we really look forward to that. So we will let you know more details. But we think there's tremendous potential. There's a lot of Kashmiri people in Ontario, in Canada, and I think there's people-to-people connections are very strong. We have Shubhan Krishnan himself, Kashmiri at the chamber, at the consulate, and I think we have many more members here. So on that note, I thank you again for all your time and look forward to a productive buyer-sellers meet. And on that note, I'd like to welcome Apurva ji. Apurva Srivastava is our Consul General of India in Toronto, somebody that we all know of. So Apurva ji, over to you.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Good evening good evening to Indians, people from India, and good morning to those joining from Canada. I'm really, really delighted, to welcome you all for this webinar, where we'll be promoting handlooms and handicrafts from Jammu and Kashmir. I'll begin by thanking Jammu and Kashmir Trade Promotion Organization, Anu Malhotra ji, Mahmood Shah ji for partnering with us, and also, of course, Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce for helping us to put this together. So without your support, this event would not have been possible. But I just want that this should be should be the beginning, and a follow-up is equally important than organizing an event. So I assure you that all three of us should work together, and we will help in actually doing it. Like Vijay has already said, that the follow-up thing is extremely important, and we would be very happy to do that with you. It's been said that if there is a heaven on earth, it's there in Kashmir. So it's bestowed with the abundant natural resources and highly skilled artisans and craftsmen. And the local craftsmen create magic and produce high quality, world famous pashminas, KANI shawls, leather and fur jackets, Kishwari blanket, loi. I consider myself a kind of expert on Indian handicrafts, but when the list was sent by JK from Jammu and Kashmir Trade Promotion Organization, there were a couple of things which I was also not aware of. So that is why it's very important that events like this should be organized for promotion, not even abroad, but within India as well. I was stunned by the beauty of the Basholi paintings and paper mache items. I'm really happy that we are today be able to connect some prominent exporters of J&K dealing with these special products with buyers in Canada. And as I said, it should be a new beginning, and I look forward for having several more sessions to showcase, unique products of J&K in Canadian market. Actually, we have already planned another event with J&K regarding the food items, the saffron, walnut, and the rice. So we are having a session in March for the promotion of food items from Jammu and Kashmir. When we look at Canadian market, for handicrafts and handloom is very dynamic and sophisticated and constantly evolving. Besides the shawls, wood carvings, paintings, carpet, rugs, brasswares, and copperwares are also in great demand. People in Canada invest reasonable time and effort towards choosing the most appropriate decorative items for their houses. While these decorative items are normally available in big retail store and also online stores now, there are stores like HomeSense, Marshall's, Structube. They are very exclusive boutiques stores as well as e-commerce platform and shipping solutions, which are becoming a new norm in terms of reliable distribution channels for such products. So I would advise both exporters and importers and also ICCC to work together to create these new platforms and for promotion of the handlooms. As Vijay has told you, the Canadian winters are almost 4 to 5 months, and it's a severe winters. And therefore, there's a lot of scope for ethnic apparel products like hand embroidered cashmere wool stoles, mufflers, and coveted jamawar and pashmina shawls. We need to engage with concerned stakeholders, high-end boutiques, for getting a place for these beautiful handcrafted items. Another area is carpet and rugs, which represent half of business sales in floor covering stores in Canada. So hand knotted carpets from Jammu and Kashmir, both in wool and silk yarns, are considered one of the finest in the world. And I would take this opportunity to urge Canadian buyers to consider, carpets, sourcing of these beautiful carpets. I was just hearing before the start of the meeting that the largest export, J&K exports the largest part of rugs to US, and there's absolutely nothing in Canada. So we would like to change that, and we would want to work with you to, promote it and increase the share of Jammu and Kashmir carpets in Canadian market. There's also this prominent exhibition, Apparel Textile Sourcing Canada, which is held every year. This year it was held virtually. It provides a lot of opportunities for networking. So maybe next year we will work with you so that you can participate in this sourcing exhibition, where you will be able to meet a lot more of industry stakeholders. It will go a long way in expanding trade relations between the two countries. So with this, I would like to thank everybody for their support and wish exporters and buyers all the best for their future business endeavors. I know I'm looking forward for the presentation from the Jammu and Kashmir side, and because the exporters are the heroes today, and we need to see the quality and the handmade stuff which they are presenting. So look forward and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Consulate General Apurva Srivastava. Your cooperation and support always paves the way for enhanced relationship. So we now welcome Anu Malhotra, the Managing Director of Jammu and Kashmir Trade Promotion Organization. She is a Career Administrative Officer, a part of the Kashmir Administrative Service. Anuji, stage is yours.
Hi everybody. I want to thank Mr. Vijay Thomas, President, Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Apurva Srivastava, Consulate General of India, Toronto, my fellow colleagues, Mr. Mahmood Ahmed Shah, Director, Handicrafts and Handloom Kashmir, all our exporters from J&K and importers from Canada. I really thank you all for taking out your valuable time and helping us to co-host this webinar. I feel extremely honored to be present on this platform representing J&K Trade Promotion Organization. We are the pioneer investment and trade promotion organization of J&K, and we are there to help improve investment climate in J&K. The maiden Global Investor Summit, which was planned earlier, is on hold presently due to COVID-19 pandemic, but we ensure that we keep up the good work and we continue to reach out to our investors and partners through virtual mediums and at regular intervals. So this platform provides us the opportunity to showcase the potential of J&K as an attractive and potential export destination for handloom and handicraft products. After agriculture and horticulture, of course, handicraft and handlooms occupies an important position in the economic structure of J&K. To tell you that total export from J&K stood over rupees 1360 crore during 1920, with a major export item being RMG wool and man-made yarn fabrics. So the handicraft activities are best suited to the Kashmir economy because of its comparatively low investment and high benefits in J&K. More than 3.5 lakh artisans are involved directly and indirectly with the handloom and handicraft industry. And for the upliftment of artisan community, UT government has launched several schemes to encourage the talented artisans so that they excel in their workmanship and are provided recognition at both domestic and international levels. So in order to broaden the artisan base and human resource required in the industry, Department of Handloom and Handicraft is running about 553 training centers of elementary and advanced nature, having about 13,000 intake capacity. Approximately 7,500 to 8,500 trainees are trained annually through these training centers in line with the skill development initiatives of J&K government. So to encourage investment and create employment in the UT, the Department of Handloom and Handicrafts has also formulated a new investment policy for this sector. Export strategy for J&K is also being developed with other departments in consultation with experts and stakeholders to make each district in J&K as an export hub under the Atmanirbhar initiatives of Government of India. Department of Handloom and Handicraft, as you all know, plays a catalytic role in modernization of handloom and handicraft sector in the UT through skill upgradation of weavers by providing the modernized looms, also providing trainings in designs and weaving, marketing of handloom and handicraft products through marketing incentives, and by fostering participation of weavers in national, state and district level handloom expos and fairs. Crafts like embroidery, shawls, quills, namdas, chain stitch, wood carving, paper mache, KANI shawls, carpets, they hold a significant share in the overall production of the export of UT. Now, silk carpet, as you all know, and ma'am also discussed about it, is created by local artisans of J&K. They have a niche value in quality and design at both national and international market. One of the major thrusts of government is to help the artisan community to find markets, linkages at international levels in order to support the traditional handicraft industry from extinction and to boost the economic conditions of artisans. The government has formulated a special credit plan to provide financial assistance for setting up self-employment generating units in J&K. Recently, government of J&K has also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Flipkart, which is India's leading online e-commerce platform, to promote the local art, craft and handloom by bringing these sectors on an e-commerce fold. So now with this, once again, thank you all for taking out your busy schedule, taking out time from your busy schedule and participating in the session. And I hope and wish that we explore, invest and grow together and be an integral part of the growth story of JK 2.0. With regard to the delegation, as sir said, Mr. Vijay Thomas, we would love to have you all here, sir. So you kindly share your details so that we take the whole thing forward. Jai Hind to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anuji. Now we invite Consulate General of India, Toronto.
Now I would
sorry, go on.
Request that let us launch the e-catalog. So this is how it looks like. I think we'll share also the soft copy, sir.
Fantastic.
So I'll request Mr. Mahmood Shah, who is Director Handicraft and Handloom Kashmir, to give a presentation on unique handicrafts and handlooms of J&K. Thank you.
Amuji, you should be able to share the screen now.
I am doing it. Okay, just doing it. I hope the presentation is on the screen.
Yes, it's very clear. Thank you.
Okay, shall we start? Do I have the permission to start?
Yes, please.
I welcome you to this presentation on handicrafts and handloom products of Jammu and Kashmir. I start the presentation with the word Kashmir, the most popular word in the textile industry in the West. This word is perhaps the oldest and the biggest connect between the East and the West. It is an anglicized spelling of word Kashmir. So what Kashmir is to the West, it's Pashmina to we people. So it actually is Pashmina, just a bit of history to it. It is Pashmina is derived from Pashmina goat, which is called as Capra hiricus. And all Pashmina, of course, is Kashmir, but all Kashmir is not Pashmina. And it's akin to all champagne is sparkling, but all sparkling wine is not champagne. Bulk of Kashmir wool production to the West is catered by China and Mongolia, but the fiber which comes from China and Mongolia is to the size of around 15.5 microns, while as the best and the finest of the fleeces, the underwool of the Capra hiricus ranges from a micron size of 13.5 to 14.5. So this is the finest of the finest fleeces from which Pashmina is made. Of course, it's all made by hand, and we have thousands of years of history of Pashmina making. When about 2,000-3,000 years of history, we have a written history by Kalhan in the form of Raj Tarangni. And the wool from Ladakh used to come to Kashmir, where the hands, the burnishing hands, used to turn into finest of the textiles. And as a result of which, we have a very unique skill set, unparalleled in the entire world. In fact, the Valley of Kashmir has a distinction. It's a very small valley, about 5,500 square kilometers, and you find dozens and dozens of handicrafts, and which we will be discussing in the subsequent slides. Of course, shawls, when we talk about handicrafts, the discussion is incomplete unless and until we make a reference to the shawls. It's a piece of fabric worn around head, shoulder, and the body. It's originally a Persian word. And shawls can be either plain or worked by needle embroidery, carrying out exquisite designs, making them even more attractive. Well, the biggest attribute or the biggest USP of Pashmina is being hand spun and hand woven Pashmina. And we have a few years back done the GI labeling of Pashmina, and it's marketed under a trade name Kashmir Pashmina. An institution called Craft Development Institute, along with a society named Tahaffuz, were instrumental in getting this GI tagging done of Kashmir Pashmina shawl. And incidentally, the label on the right-hand corner of this slide indicates the label of Kashmir Pashmina, and it can also be verified online. Next is the KANI. KANI stands at the top of the evolutionary tree of handicrafts. It's an embodiment of perfection and is made by using wooden bobbins. The design is woven into a textile like that, what we do in carpet. Here, the weaver follows a weaving code, and it takes about 1 to 2 years to make a KANI shawl. This form of handicraft has also been GI tagged and has been trade named as KANI shawl. And the label is indicated on the right-hand corner of the slide. Carpets, of course, the place is very famous for carpets, and we export. Incidentally, it was also referred that bulk of our carpets go to America, and here we have an opportunity to explore the North American market. And just something more about the carpets, that we manufacture handmade carpets which have about 256 knots per square inch to 1600 knots per square inch. Our specialty is that we make handmade, slick, as well as woolen carpets. We also, in case of carpets, also we have GI tagged them, and they are trademarked under the name Kashmir hand knotted carpets. This GI was done jointly by an institute called Indian Institute of Carpet Technology, together with a society called MIRAS. Both IICT and the MIRAS together have the custodianship of this trademark. And in IICT, we have a design bank, and we use AI, artificial intelligence, to preserve the age-old designs. And we also create new designs. And we have developed a locally a software wherein we can convert a photograph into the design blueprint. So the repository of designs is with us in the form of software at IICT. Next, we discussed paper mache. Again, it doesn't need any introduction. It's very unique to Kashmir, and it's used by making molds of paper, and then making exquisite motifs of flora and fauna on it. And the paper mache has again been GI tagged, and interestingly, we have a facility at IICT where we have a dyeing facility where we do azo-free dyes. We are also conscious to the fact that we have to live up to the standards in the West. So we have to increase the level of our handicrafts catering to the Western market. The youngest of the crafts, which we have already discussed, is perhaps the wicker willow. It was introduced about 150 years back when the seeds were imported from Europe. And this craft has later on it has evolved. It is more restricted to a place called as Gandharbal. And the craft has not, we found that it had stagnated, and by the collaboration from the designers, we have been able to upgrade both on the front of design as well as on the color schemes, so as to make the product more trendy. And incidentally, we have roped up in some reputed designers with us who have helped us to improve the look and feel of the wicker willow. Well, most of you know that there is a tweed known as Harris tweed, and we in Kashmir also have a hand spun and handmade tweed, which of course is also coveted in this part of the world. And since handmade products are favored by the market in Europe, so we are aggressively trying to push this aspect of handicraft. Incidentally, Jammu Kashmir is the second largest producer of the wool. We produce about 13 lakh kgs of wool, but unfortunately, we don't have scale. And then right now, what we are doing is that we are collaborating with the World Bank, who are helping us both to increase the scale as well as to improve upon the design element. Currently, we are working with Fab India to make our tweed more appealing to both the local market as well as the foreign market. Jammu Kashmir has a unique geographical position. We have a unique climatic condition, which is very conducive for the growth of, for the cultivation of horticultural products. And we produce about 80% of the country's walnut, and walnut grows in plenty in Kashmir. And as a result, the walnut wood is also in plenty. And this hardwood is being used to make various decorative elements in the form of furniture. And exclusive designs are carved out of this walnut wood. The walnut has also been GI tagged and is branded as Kashmir walnut. The next woodwork is chicory wood, which is usually found in the parts of Jammu and particularly in districts of Rajouri and Poonch. It is used from a wood called Bexus wallaceiana. Zari again is another handicraft, and where exquisite motifs are stitched on the apparels using both gold as well as silver coated threads. Chain stitch embroidery is yet another art form wherein iron needles are used to carve out decorative patterns. This type of embroidery is usually done on curtains, cushion covers, and bed sheets. Here again, we are collaborating with Fab India to get more market access and make more inroads both in domestic as well as the foreign market. Namdas and gabbas are the felts and the rugs, and these are made of wool, and chain stitch embroidery is done to make them look very attractive. Again, this is some kind of a craft which is exclusively handmade. Basoli paintings is usually found, it's Jammu centric, and we have a place called Basoli which is equally famous for Basoli Pashmina as well. And Basoli paintings are known world over, and this art has been practiced in the area for centuries. We have discussed the vertical of handicrafts and handlooms, and of course, Madam Apurva had started the presentation by the famous quote, "If there is a paradise on earth, it's here, it's here, it's here." The discussion would be incomplete unless and until we make a reference to the tourism. And of course, the horticultural products of Kashmir are equally famous. We produce about 80% of the country's apple, and we are the 6th in the apple cultivation. And in this presentation, I haven't touched the cuisines of the place. So apart from encouraging exports, we also would wish that more and more tourists from North America do come over to Kashmir. And here we have to make an effort to dilute the advisories. In the past, we have seen the advisories have been a discouraging factor in getting tourists from North America. So by virtue of this platform, I would request the Consulate General to pitch in to dilute the advisories so that we have an increased tourist traffic from both from Canada as well as America to this part. We do incidentally right now the resort of Gulmarg is full of snow, and we have a lot of skiing activities going on. Incidentally, we hire a snow safety officer from America. So there's a lot to both in forms of handicrafts and handlooms as well as horticulture, and the most important is to ensure that tourism also grows by virtue of these exchanges. With this, I would conclude that if you are a connoisseur either of handicrafts, handlooms, cuisines, you want to see a unique culture, this is a place to be. Thank you for being with me on this presentation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahmood Shahji. Now it's the time where I would like to invite, is anyone from JKTPO would like to introduce the exporters? Who would be that person? If somebody can, I would like to invite the JKTPO to briefly introduce their exporters from Jammu and Kashmir.
Sir, exporters will be introduced by Mr. Mahmood Ahmad Shah.
Okay. So
thank you, Amir. I'll just do the honors. So we have with us a distinguished panel of exporters, both from Jammu as well as Kashmir. We have Major V. Anand from Modern Arts, Wood Carvings and Bamboo Craft. Mr. Antima Manhas from Invisible Art Hub. We have Shuja Ali Pare from Dilkash Embroideries. We have Mr. Rajesh Sharma Impact Handloom Weaving Industries and Cooperative Limited. We have Mr. Jagdish from PASHMINA and Wool Weavers ICDS Limited. We have Mr. Ashfaq Ahmad Shah from Venus Furniture. We have Mr. Akib from Prince Wood Carving House. We have Mr. Niaz Ahmed Mullah from Niaz Leather Enterprise. We have Nasir Ahmed Mir from Mir Arts. We also have Mr. Irfan Ahmed from Kausa Arts and Crafts. Mr. Nazneen Ahad will be representing new model KANI shawl Pashmina unit. Mr. Khalid Shabir Zargar will be representing his enterprise Precious Arts. Mr. Shabir Ahmed Zargar and Mr. Riaz Ahmed Khan is an artisan who will be joining this platform. He will also be joined by another artisan, Mr. Iqbal Hussain Khan. Friends Cooperative Leather Goods and Handicrafts will be represented by its proprietor, Mr. Asim Lon. Humaira Jamil Sweater Campaign will be represented by Miss Jamila Akhtar. Sheikh Luxury Fabric House will be represented by Sheikh Sahil. And the last participant which we have here is from Rishi Shawl Marts, and it will be represented by its proprietor, Wasim Rishi. So that is the list of 19 exporters from our side who will be joining this platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Memaji. And I will briefly introduce the Ontario entrepreneurs who are here. We have Ajit Kapadia from Moda Tech Systems. We have CK Amoteng from the SICK Tax International. We have Harsh Tucker from Tucker Group. We have Hiten Makim from Hiten Makim Advisory Services Incorporated. We have Keshav Agnihotri from Agnihotri Law. We have Maqsood Delegezi from Faisal Rugs. We have Mohinder Singh from Eglinton Carpets and Flooring. Nandini Gowda from Change Constant. Nishit Shah from Potential Importer. Nitin Vaswani, Silk and Style by Dan Imports. Priya Morgan from Temple of Saris. Surjit Babra from Skyline Capital Corporation. Vijay Aveli from Sutton. Vinod Munchiji from Hydrogen Industry. So now it is the time for which we all were waiting for. We would now start going from, let me just put this in here. Okay, so we will begin moving the exporters and importers into different rooms, and please be patient while we do this. We are going to open the separate rooms for the exporters, and then we are going to invite the all importers to be part of the exporters rooms. Okay. Please also note that the purpose of this one-on-one meeting is to introduce the exporters and the importers to each other, to exchange contact information and briefly talk about the way forward to conduct business together. This is not a place for long negotiations. So please take no more than 3 to 5 minutes to complete the meeting, so then we can start moving you out from one room to another. Okay, so I will just open the room for the exporters. I will request all the exporters will see the notification in front of them to join the room. Please just join the room and just be there. And then slowly one after another, importers will be moving from one room to another.